Hi everyone, it's me back again with another video for Dancing with the Stars, season 27, week 4. It was a trio week. Um, it was trio week. It was too soon to do a trio week. Yeah, it was just way too soon to do a trio week. They should have waited till like week 8, the semifinals to do that. Or at least the quarterfinals, week 7, because it's only a 9-week season. So they should have waited till like week 7, week 8, when most of I can't even say most of the low hanging fruit or the bad dancers are gone, and the better dancers have had more time to improve on their technique and stuff and really hold their own. So I had a lot of issues with this night. And actually, I had it really brought to my attention why I haven't really cared that much for this season. I don't know if I've said that I really enjoyed this season in the past. Maybe I did the first week, but as the season's gone on, my interest in it has waned uh, uh, exponentially. Um, And this night kind of wrapped it all up as in a nice little package with a bow on top, just like, here, this is why you don't care for this season. So let me just get into why I didn't care for this and why I'm not going to do a regular review. One, again, I already said, too early for trios. The celebs needed more time, the pros needed more time to not figure out, but really get a lot more just technique in, because at this point it's still week 4. They're still learning technique for dances and stuff and really just building upon that. Again, once you get to about week 6 is when you start seeing the real I guess competition take off, right? Sometimes about week 5 with certain week 5 with the really really gifted dancers, but week 6 is when week 6 week 7 is when people start to it starts clicking and people get it, and it's you really start getting those performances. Now, the second reason I didn't care for it is because I did not care that they brought in 3 celebs that were not part of Dancing with the Stars at any point. One of the celebs out of the 3 of them handled it the best, and I'll get to that later. But there was just no need to do that. Number 2, number 3. I did not like the fact that a lot of the trio partners or the trio members weren't able to actually rehearse with their team. If you don't know, or if you don't follow people, there was a lot of I would see people I'm just gonna say this. It was Nastia, Amy, what's her name? The lady who played Pansy. Did I just say her name wrong? Jesus Christ, I might have said her name wrong. And I love Harry Potter. Scarlet, there we go. But I forget who she plays in Harry Potter or what her name was, but the Slytherin girl. Those ones, and then who else? I know Riker didn't get in till probably Thursday or Friday and start practicing for real. Lindsay didn't get in till maybe Friday. Joey didn't start practicing till Saturday. I don't know when Joe's partner got there, but he didn't get there. It's just a lot of issues. Maddie was also there the whole time. Maddie Ziegler, and who else? Rashad was there the whole time. Yeah, it just, yeah, they needed to do better with that because it put a lot of these celebs at disadvantages. Melissa got there probably like Thursday or Friday. So that was another issue. Another issue that I had. The elimination was bothersome for many different reasons, and I'll probably talk more in depth about it on my blog, dwtsfun.tumblr.com. I think I might change that sometime soon, but and drop the Tumblr part and just dwtsfun.com. But for now, dwtsfun.tumblr.com. Anyway, I might talk more about just like how my observations about the couple that was eliminated, Tinashe and Brandon, you know, and just talk about it there. What else? I had so many other issues. Song choices for a few of the couples just felt strange, unnecessarily strange. And anything, the backlash after this week has just rubbed me the wrong way, which is why it's taken me so long to put this video up. I just haven't cared to talk about it just because I'm so sick of seeing everybody talk about it. I'm sick of the pros and Tom and everybody. Like, I'm sick of it. You know, I'm just tired. I'm tired. And really what has transpired from this week is it's enough to make me just say F it and not do this show. I'm going to keep doing it until the season or this finale or whatever, but I'm just tired of it. Okay, so getting that off the way, I'm just going to talk about the good, the okay, and then the ugly. The good. So let's talk about some of the dances. I thought Milo had the dance of the night, Milo, Riker, and Whitney, despite the fact that they didn't have the rehearsal time that everybody else had with all three of them together. I thought they did a great job. I thought the performance was more deserving of a perfect score than Juan Pablo's. So the 29 that they got, it should have been a 30. If we're basing it off of that performance that got a 30 for no reason. Yeah, I thought it was precise. I thought the choreography was great. Whitney is killing it this season. That's another thing that's been bothering me. The people who are saying that Whitney copied it, and people are saying Whitney copies like everything that she does, and she just, you know, she is useless and she doesn't create anything. She is a ghost choreographer and she doesn't deserve that. The praise that she gets, and she didn't deserve that Emmy nomination and all that. Shut up. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of that. That really irks me because one, Val has used that same choreographer, ghost choreographer. Lindsay has too, and people talked about Lindsay, but Lindsay hasn't gotten an Emmy nomination yet, so that's probably why hers might not be so just strong. The animosity toward her is so strong. And also, I think just people have something against Whitney. I don't know what it is, but people don't like her for some reason. Don't know. So that's been irritating. But anyway, I thought the choreography was great. I've heard that she doesn't even use a ghost choreographer anymore. That this stuff is like hers. So like, okay, let's move on. Same thing with like, okay, she copied Lindsay's salsa with Corbin and Jordan or whatever. A salsa is a salsa. Salsas are going to look very similar. If you go back to, well, I'll just say, if looking back on season 12, they had like instant salsas where a bunch of the couples did like instant salsas, right? And they had to come up with the choreography and however, like they got their dance after their first dance, or they got their song after the first dance, and they had to basically put the choreography to the music, right? And literally, like, almost all of those salsas looked pretty much the same. Um, Romeo's looked very similar to Kirsty's. And I think, did Chelsea do it, samba too, or salsa too, or was it a mambo? I don't know. But thing is, it happens. It's the same dance, same basics. You want to get those basic steps in. There's only certain forms, like types of formations that you can do with three people. Um, Sometimes things are going to look similar, especially if those three people, two of them are celebrities, then that limits your possibilities even more, even though they're both very good dancers, that still limits the possibilities more. So you can't really have the pro do like really pro things. Um, it's just it's frustrating, but I thought it was fantastic. I loved it, amazing. I would have understood at 29 had this not been after Juan Pablo's very um, boring samba and undeserving of a perfect score. So there's that. Tinashe, Brandon, Amy, another great dance. They got a 26 for it. They had a tango. Considering the fact like they probably had just the biggest challenge of the week uh, on paper, beyond just the whole logistics of everything of getting everybody in the same spot at the same time. Um, Brandon having a little less than a week to learn everything that he needed to know about Amy, the way that she dances, what she needs to do and stuff. Luckily, like Amy went through an entire season with Derek, so like she can kind of like tell him that type of stuff. Um, but just to kind of get that feel for each other and know like, hey, Amy can't do something like this because there's just limitations there. Um, and so now we have to change things up to fix that. Um, but I thought that they did a great job. I thought that together they made a very good trio. I did think that even with the dance, the tango just does not allow itself to be a very good trio dance. So I thought that they worked well with what they had, and it was like an uphill battle. I thought it was a great job. Um, I thought the 26 was fine, um, except when you look at the rest of the night and the scores that the rest of the night got, and then I'm like, they should have gotten 2 points higher. They should have gotten like a 28. Um, but they got a 26, and they got eliminated, which bothers me, and I'll talk more about that later on in the video. Um, Also, Ivana, Kia, and Scarlett had a salsa, and they got a 24. This was another great dance, and this was probably the best use of a partner who's outside of Dancing with the Stars. To me, Scarlett fit in pretty well. I thought her presence kind of made Ivana up her game, and her confidence just like skyrocketed. She was really just like felt the dance, it was in the moment, was really going for it, and like really just like sure of herself. I mean, even with like the mistakes that were made here and there, it was a very good dance. Um, I would have given it like at least 1 9. Um, I also thought that Scarlett did a pretty good job. I could see that she was nervous. I could see that she kind of, was nervous and forgot a couple of things here and there, but I thought she did a great job. And I thought that Kyo utilized both of them perfectly. And really, Scarlett did not outshine Ivana, and she wasn't like awful to the point where it's just like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe like you're sitting here and doing this. Like we had both ends of the spectrum with the other two non DWTS trio partner things. Yeah, I thought it was great. I loved it. They got a 24. I would have loved to see it get like a 25 or a 26. I thought it deserved at least one nine, but the judging has just been off this season. It's just been like more just off than usual. So those were kind of like my highlights from the night. Um, Very few and far between. The okay moments. The decent, okay, all right, those type of moments. There's a lot more of those. I thought Rashad, Demarcus, and Lindsay's pasta was it was good. It wasn't his best. It was definitely better than a 22. The way that they are really nitpicking and lowballing not Rashad, Demarcus, it's very reminiscent of what they did with Rashad back in season 24. Um, but that definitely was not worth a 22. I would have given it like a 20, at least a 24. 23, 24 is probably a good area for that. It wasn't perfect, but it was not as bad as they made it seem. Um, I think Demarcus um, was kind of, this is where I feel like they should have waited a few weeks, because I feel like had this been done a few weeks later down the line, we would have fixed a lot of Demarcus's kind of underlying problems, right? Just kind of messiness and just lack of finesse within his movements. And because it's a paso, you have to have that finesse there. It's really built into the dance. Without that finesse, it just loses that. It just loses. It really loses an aspect of the dance that there just is important and inherently like the dance at its core, right? So the shaping and all that just wasn't there, and it was kind of um, made more obvious because Rashad has kept dancing since Dancing with the Stars, and he's only gotten better, and he pays a lot of attention to the way that he shapes his body. You can tell that he's very like intentional with the way how dramatic he is, and you can see the way that he like curves his chest and like goes into the moves, and the way that he like presents with his arms, and the way like he doesn't just, it's not like a kind of like a move. It's just like it's really art, right? Um, and Rashad is an artist anyway, beyond dancing and stuff. Like he does music and all that type of stuff. So um, I think how we had a few more weeks, Demarcus would have been a lot better, and it would have been a lot just more dynamic to see both of them in control like that. It was still a good dance. It wasn't as bad as the judges made it seem. Um, but I did notice that, and I think that's why those issues were there. I thought the choreography was very good, though. It was very interesting. So, um, also another good moment I would say was what's her face, um, Mary Lou, Nastia, and Sasha's Charleston. Um, it would have been great if Mary Lou was better, which is unfortunate because I could see that she was having fun. I could see she was having fun. She was really working. She was really just like, I think it's the most fun that she's had out on the dance floor since she started. But I don't think it was her best dance. They got a 26. I probably would have given it a 24. Um, the way the judges were making it seem felt like they thought she was the one who was in trouble and about to get eliminated. So that's why they gave her the 26. The same score as Tinashe. Um, but it turned out that Tinashe was the one who's actually in trouble. So I don't know. But I uh, just thinking about it, one, Nastia Charleston is her dance, right? And she was her first season, season 20. She was great with Charleston. Every time that she's come back, she's done a Charleston, and every time she's done a Charleston, her technique has been pretty much flawless. Um, So right there off the bat, um, Mary Lou is at a disadvantage because you have somebody who's just so great at that particular dance. You also have the difference in size and the difference in age, and that kind of made things more apparent. And then the fact that, again, it's week 4. If this was done in week 7, I think a lot of the stuff, stamina and just working through things and like knowing how to you know, I guess change the movements more and stuff and getting more accustomed to the show would have taken care of a lot of the problems that I saw with this dance. And I think Mary Lou would have been right there with Nastia had she had a couple more weeks to really just grow. Um, it was still good though. I thought that the choreography for the first time this season, I thought Sasha really did a great job with the choreography. He hasn't done a bad job, but I think this is the first time that I really they stuck out to me. So, from a dance perspective. Also, I enjoyed John and Joey and Emma's Argentine tango. Emma is incredible. She is an incredible pro. This dance was gorgeous. Um, Even with the issue with the lift and all that stuff, I just thought it was an amazing dance. They got a 21, it should have been a 24. Um, Honestly, because it was just so good. Both of them were so in control of the dance, and because Joey is not as great of a dancer as he was on his season, because he's getting older and he's having more limitations, and he probably is his season was the longest time ago, season 4, and then he was only on season 15 for like 2 weeks, and then got the boot. Um, so really, he's been the one who has been out of the show for the most time. I mean, I think he was on tour, but I can't remember when that was. And he also did the C at the DWTS at C thingy. But still, I thought this was great. I thought the concept was great. The costuming was amazing. I thought Emma looked beautiful. I just loved it. And yeah, the choreography was just really good. They were both strong. They were both there. They were both just like committed, and they both like killed it. So it should have been a 24. Do I have anything else? I think that's it for my good. Okay, so my kind of whatever. Before I get to the ugly, Juan Pablo and Cheryl and Melissa. Um, it just looked like, okay, the song was awful for a cha cha. They got a 24. The song was awful for a cha cha. Nobody looked like they cared for it. It seemed like there was a lot of like different things going on, and not like in a like, oh, this is happening now, this is happening. No, it was like a Cheryl is doing this, but Melissa's doing something different, and then Melissa's doing this, and Cheryl's doing something. It looked like they were like forgetting things, and like Juan and Pablo might have forgotten stuff, and it just didn't feel like it didn't gel. So it was kind of like a whatever dance. Um, I think they felt it. I think they definitely knew it. That's why the 24, they weren't very surprised or shocked or even bothered by it. They were actually happy that it was that high. So, you know. Okay, now the bad. Bobby and Sharna and Lindsay. Okay, so this is they got a 20. This wasn't bad as in like, ew, oh my gosh, I'm cringing, he can't dance. Um, I don't really think Bobby can dance, but it wasn't like, oh, I can't watch this. It was just a, huh. It was to MC Hammers, you can't touch this, so that are automatically, it's just like, okay, right? So it's already kind of like corny to begin with. And then they had the hammer pants and all that stuff, so it's like, okay, now they're gonna do the actual thing. And then they did the actual, like the dance from the video, and I was just like, hammer time, and I was just like, I don't want y'all to ever do that again. That was very, just like, not good. And then Bobby's technique's just not very good. But he was having fun and he kept it together up until they were getting their critiques or scores or whatever. And then he, the 19-year-old versus the 30. Bobby is a 19-year-old. I'm just at that point where he acts half his age. He acts like a 19-year-old college freshman. Um, and that irritates me because college freshmen irritate me, and they have since I was a freshman. So he frustrates me, and just seeing that, and just like, please, I do not want him here anymore. I do not want him here because he cannot control himself. Um, I just need just a little more couth, a little more tact. That's it. That's it. I don't want you to just like lose yourself completely, but like bring it in just a little bit, just a little bit, bring it in just a little bit. And then Joe and Jenna, and I guess their partner's name was Jordan. The JJJ salsa, they got a 15. They were very generous with that 15. I would have given it a 12. And even people said I was generous with that 12, which I probably was. It was bad. It was very bad. Jordan is worse than Joe. You can see in Jenna's face just the torture and the misery, and she just does not want to be there anymore. I don't blame her. I feel bad because you can tell that he doesn't want to be there anymore. And when you have to work with somebody and teach them, a person that does not want to be somewhere, it's like a one-on-one thing, and you cannot get through to them no matter what you say or do or whatever, that is the most frustrating and awful and just hellacious thing you can ever, 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 ever do. I might be, exaggerating, but it is awful to sit there and try and get somebody to do better and be the best that they can be, and they don't want to, and they don't want to be there, and you're just sitting there like, I do not know what to do with you at this point because you don't want to do this, and I can't get through to you, and now we can't move forward because there's this block here where I can't get through to you no matter how hard I've tried. There's this block up because you have made it up in your mind that you do not want to be here. You do not want to deal with the critiques. You do not want to be embarrassed on national TV and all this stuff. And I get that. I get it. I get it. The show is not for everybody. So, Bachelor Nation, let them go. Let them go. You had 4 female celebrities that would have loved to stay here and learn and get better and enjoy themselves and just grow. You had 4 female celebrities that wanted to do this and really embraced the show and had the potential to get better, regardless of what their pros were or were not doing. They were going to grow because they wanted to grow. And each one of them did grow up until their eliminations. Joe has not grown since the very first dance. He's actually regressed since that first dance. And it pisses me off that we have a group of fans that are screwing this show up so bad. And I don't know what it is about him because I don't see anything likable about Joe. I don't know what it is, but it is frustrating to me that we have lost 4 celebrities because they will not let them go. And we're going to lose another celebrity that wants to be there next week. You know how I know that? Because that response to that dance that they did, that terrible dance, that wasn't a dance. It was just, what the F was that? It was so weirdly well received by a lot of people that I think they're going to get the votes to stay another week and possibly weeks beyond that. Right now I'm in a place where I'm nervous that he's going to make the top 4. It's gotten that bad where I feel like he is going to be out here taking out I mean, with the way the judges are judging DeMarcus, I mean, they're kind of taking his football fans for granted and saying, they'll just, they'll vote for him or whatever. We're just going to keep. That doesn't always work because they did that with Nastia. The Olympics fans are always going to vote for her. They did that with Nastia, and they kept like underscoring her, and she got fourth, and they were shocked. They are underscoring Tinashe and under critiquing them. Look what happened. Eliminated week 4. They did that with Shawn Johnson. Shocked that in season 15, shocked that she got second place and Melissa won. But look at what you did. Look at the whole season. They did that with Apollo in season 15. Undercut him and Karina, underscored him the whole season. They got 5th. They should have been in the finals. Oh my gosh, how did this happen? Because of you. Because of you. Because you're not doing your jobs right. Every single, since season 15, you can, all of these surprising eliminations, except for season 17, that was like a weird thing going on. But all of these surprising eliminations, Charlie White, shocked that he got 5th. I knew that either he or Meryl was going to get 5th or be the one ousted in the semifinals, and the other one was going to go and win, as a lot of people did. But they were like, oh my gosh, how did he get 5th? Well, look at the way that you treated him all season. You see, there's a pattern. There's things that happen, right? So for I'm worried for Ivana. I'm worried for DeMarcus. I'm honestly, I don't really care for either one of them. John and Mary Lou, both of them should outlast Joe. But at this point, he might outlast all of them. In my mind, in what I'm thinking, I feel like he's getting the bulk of the votes. And that scares me because that means that this season is okay. So yeah, that happened. Please let Jenna out of her misery and just let them go. Hopefully the judges give them a 9 this week. I don't know. Get them out of here. I don't want to see them ever again. Get him out. He doesn't want to be there anymore. Let them go. Anyway, to the elimination, Ivana and Keo and Tinashe and Brandon were in jeopardy. Tinashe and Brandon left. As I said, they shouldn't have left. And it was a shocking elimination. I'm going to say why it was a shocking elimination. This is about to be a long video, but I don't care. It was a shocking elimination because... Oh, shoot, I forgot about Alexis. Alexis's dance. Alexis had a tango, and she had a 25 with Alan and Maddie. Maddie outdanced Alexis. They shouldn't have done that. If they were to put Maddie with anyone, it should have been with Tinashe. Tinashe would have been the only person that could have danced with Maddie and been able to hold her own. Alexis dances too soft for Maddie, and Maddie dances too hard. I compared this trio to having Melissa Rycroft at her worst, like dancing pretty and soft and stuff, with the Sabrina Bryan dancing at her worst with the hard, hitting everything rock like hard. That's how I felt about this tango. And then it was weird. The staging was weird. The lights were weird. The everything about it was just strange. It wasn't a bad dance, and the 25 was fine, but there just wasn't any real synergy between the three of them. So yeah, moving on. It was weird, and the reason I say that is because Tinashe wasn't in the bottom 5 or the bottom 6 even in the first week. Not all of those people have gone yet. So that means to me that a lot of people stopped voting for her for whatever reason. And I'm wondering what that was. Because people don't usually stop voting for you like that, especially if you haven't done anything to make them stop voting for you, especially this early in the competition. So that's the first thing. Um, the second thing is, and it's connected to the first thing, is when you have somebody like Alexis, which I guess she's really benefited from that second night of competition the first week, as well as her mother's, the story about her mom, um, from Most Memorable Year. I think that really helped her, and then the fact that she like really just got really like she's really shown a lot of vulnerability, um, has really helped her. But I don't know, it's just weird, especially again when you have somebody who does not want to be there and another person who does not know how to control himself. So there's that. There's also this thing. So Tinashe and Brandon were the first black couple who were actual contenders. Um, because Keo and Lolo were the first black couple, but Lolo was awful. And Shaka Khan had absolutely like she was not going to go far at all, um, and she didn't. So Tinashe and Brandon were the first like black couple who were contenders, and just the response to them over the season has just been very just muted, very meh, very just mid, very. I've never seen the judges react so conservatively to a couple who was as good as Tinashe and Brandon were. They just were like, "Oh, you did a great dance," and moved on. And for me, that just felt very strange, considering I've watched this show for years and I've never seen them react to anybody like that who was as good as they were. As I said, it's strange. And then, of course, as we all know, people always write articles about shocking eliminations and Dancing with the Stars, or American Idol. Um, they always write shocking elimination articles, right? Because it gives you clicks, it's content, um, quick and easy, all that stuff. You know, what these people want for clicks on their website and money and all that stuff, right? So I'm not sure why everybody decided to just get mad at them this time. Tom talking about, did you vote? Okay, they did vote, but there's a bigger issue here, and the issue is just one, it's with black celebrities. That's the first issue. Two, there's another issue with black female celebrities, and three, there's an issue with black couples on this show, right? So you have three different things. You have the black celebrity, you have the black female celebrity, you have the black couple. So that's three things that you need to take in consideration. But these people aren't getting it, and they're talking about underdogs and all this stuff. And Adam Rippon is talking about the underdog when that he does not need to talk about any underdog. Like the reason the underdogs do well, no, he does not need to get to talk about that. Him and Jenna don't, because the only reason they won is because he was a ringer on a short season. Because had that season been a regular length season, they would not have won. So they need to check that. Sharna needs to shut up. And I'm not saying like she doesn't get to have an opinion or whatever, but it happens all the time where she sticks her nose in places that it doesn't need to be at that time. And it's like, I get you want to talk and all that stuff and you want to share your opinion. You can do that. She does it at the wrong times, right? She did it with Nick Carter with his sexual assault allegations, and she stood up for him. And I'm like, girl, do not talk. This is not something you need to talk about. I don't care what you were with him. He had an entire past before you met him and worked with him for 14 weeks. Let the woman from, what was it, the group Dream, let her share what she has experienced with him, her truth. Do not get involved with that. That has nothing to do with you, right? So this, although I guess you would say it has something to do with her because Bobby is her partner, she could have easily just shrugged it off because these articles get made all the time and it has no effect on them. So she could have ignored it, but she didn't. Um, it's just frustrating to see all this, and this is why I'm so mad. So this video is longer than I wanted it to be, but I needed to do this because I don't know. If you want to read my article post on this, uh, I'll put the link to my Tumblr in the um, info at the bottom. I've never done that before, but yeah, this is a long video, one of my longer videos, but I had to do this. I had to say this because I'm sick of the show. And it's not really, for the first time ever, it's not the producers. I can't blame this on the producers this time. It's everybody else. And that bothers me. So, if you made it to this point, let me know what you think. Um, I'll talk to y'all soon. Yeah, till next time. Bye.